Hey, what's going on YouTube? I'm going to go ahead and show you the team that I used to get through the Earnest Night. This is the Silver Crown battles for Ingus. This is for difficulties 1 through 4, although honestly, 1 through 3 are pretty easy. This is against a demon enemy, Scylla. It has resistance 50 to all elements, and it has no inherent weaknesses. It uses a combination of both physical and magical AoE attacks, as well as Petrify. And you can only bring Blessing of the Crystal units only. I showed a little bit of this on stream, like who the Blessing of the Crystal units are. It's kind of a limited category, so I'll go ahead and show you. Our challenges are to complete the quest. As long as you complete it, you get a crown for Red Mage Ingus, which is awesome. If you make sure no one dies, you get a Gigantar card for upgrading vision cards. We do it within 5 turns, you get 2 Emperor Gigantars, which is awesome, and no continues, and you get an STMR removal at 50%. So pretty nice rewards. Honestly, if someone dies, like, who cares? Like, Emperor, like these cards are a dime a dozen. But you know, if you can do it within 5 turns and have no continues, you're gonna get some nice rewards here. And then completing the quest is obviously just a free upgrade for Ingus. Here's what the Moogle tells you. Again, it's a demon, mix of physical and magical. It wants you to use things like Shelga. Watch out for holy and powerful powerful flare attacks, which reduces fire resistance. If you beat it by turn 5, I've never seen flare, so I think if you do it, if you kill it on turn 4 like we're about to, you don't even need to worry about that. And we've got a team that's going to take care of the elemental resistances for everything else, and holy is single target, so you don't need to worry about it. Like, it's not that hard. So I'll show you what we're talking about here. Before we do, go ahead and show you the Blessing of the Crystals units, just because there are not very many of them. So if we go into our categories here and go to Blessing of the Crystals, you know, and let's hypothetically say we just want to look at Neo Visions. You know, there's not a ton. There's not a ton there. And if you're just talking about like tanks and magic tanks, because usually that's where what these fights boil down to is tanks and magic tanks. Not a whole lot of choices. You know, we've got a physical tank in Warrior of Light, right? The fledgling warrior rather. And then if we talk about no Neo Visions and do physical and magical tanks, we've got Zizat as the only magic tank. So for me, Zizat works, but the boss's physical attacks are harder to deal with than the boss's elemental attacks. So you can deal with the elemental attacks. You don't need to worry about the magic. And so then you just got to worry about the physical. So just bring your best physical tank. And honestly, there's 3. So we've got Fledgling Warrior, Zizat, who is magical, and then Galoof, who is a physical tank. So we're going to be bringing Galoof. From there, you just got to work out how you're dealing with the elemental attacks, and then how you're going to do damage. So we're going to do that with these two versions of Alina for chaining. This version of Alina is going to cover all of our elemental resistances, and then we're going to get some light support, and then just a big burster for damage. Now, this is obviously a premium EX3 unit who it honestly has his 150% amp. It is what it is. These are the challenges, folks. But this is how I did it, and we have 0 issues clearing it with this team. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you their gear. We're gonna start with Knights of Grandsheld. In the base form, he's got Titus Garb, Obsidian Bracer, just to like buff himself up. He ends up never even using Typhus Spirit, so don't worry about that. And honestly, he shifts out of this on the first turn, so really the important thing is Titus Garb and Obsidian Bracer. And then just as much good gear as you can cram into him. Honestly, we could go higher attack if we gave him, you know, a Clash of Wills gear, but I didn't want to. I wanted to let my Elena wear it, so there you go. And then he does not use Typhus Spirit, and then he's just geared for all the stuff he needs. He's got True Double Hand, LB damage, and Demon Killer, and he's been doing light damage, so he's good to go. He's wearing his own vision card because that makes gearing for him pretty easy. Fina is just geared for Spirit. She's also got immunity to some resistances and some LB fill. That's going to help her fill her LB gauge. This is not terribly important, but this vision card. But the LB, the Esper fill is pretty important. And then just like, you know, whatever gear. I just geared her for. I honestly hit auto Spirit and let the builder do its thing. Elena, in the shift form, her gear doesn't really matter. She wants to wear her TMR just so she can like have like access to all of her trust abilities and stuff like that, but really it does not matter. Base form is where it's at. You know, she's got She's got true double hand attack and magic, demon killer, and she's just chaining. So give her a source of chain cap up. I've got 2 sources for some reason. Probably not necessary, but yeah, chain cap up and then demon killer, and then she's good to go. Galoof is just geared for provoke and evasion, and that's really all he needs. I went ahead and gave him a bunch of resistances as well, but honestly Elena's going to take care of us and it doesn't really matter. So just evasion and provoke, and Galoof has a lot of support abilities that are going to help us out. Starlight is just wearing 400% true dual wield attack and magic. She's got some demon killer, not even maxed out demon killer. We could honestly give her some. We could take off like hateful agent or give her like something else instead of demon eater sentence. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's just give her what's it called, force mysterian, right? There we go. Now she's got demon killer. Woo. Okay, and then she's got I gave her Dark Rain's vision card. This is so unnecessary. Or not Dark Rain, Flaring Ether Rain's vision card. But she's not even getting the benefits of it, right? She's just getting the high benefits of the attack and magic. So give her something better. Like I'm just having some fun with her. But she's got double magic control rings to let her have the maxed out attack and magic. So anyway, there you go. There's our team. We're gonna go ahead and get this information out of the way, and then pop the actions up on screen. That way you can see what we're doing. And we'll go ahead and take this thing out. Cool. Like I said, we're going to do a little bit of shifting here in the first turn. Come on. Lots of auto buffing. Knights of Grand Shelt's going to shift, and he's just going to use a stack of his LB to power up. Okay. Galoof is going to triple. Galoof is going to do counterattack, Dawn's Light. There we go. And then Stronghold Advance. That way we got the physical attacks taken care of. And we're all imbued with light now. We're going to get light in. We could get light imbue from other sources, but that's just an easy way to just cram it into our build on turn 1. Regular Elena is going to use Luminous Speed and use Crystal Refragmentation, because this does 100% buff to all elements, right, for 5 turns. So basically, as long as the boss does not imperil you, you take no damage from element attacks for 5 turns. Awesome. And then she's also just going to use refragment, protection of the Azure Crystal, just for like resistance buffs and barriers and mitigation and stuff like that. Okay, cool. Keener, the return is going to Delightful Glow, and then she's going to Shelga and Protectka. Not really that necessary, but if anything sneaks through all of our protections and mitigations, it's nice to have those on board. Elena is just going to Brilliance, Supernova, and Gemini Blade. That's going to modifier boost for her, and that's going to get her up and running. By the way, she has her intrinsic ability equipped. I don't know if I might have missed the gearing. Here's her gearing. She's got hidden power, and then just like a bunch. That's really good for her. So yeah. Anyway, very cool. So honestly, we're not doing a whole lot of damage here. We're just chaining it up. Cool. 3%. Who cares? See, no damage. We're fine. So on this turn, you got a couple choices you could do. We're gonna go ahead and cast Mega Flare. Right. Put that nice Bahamut field effect up. That way we do more light damage. Very cool. Knights of Grand Shelt's going to use Elemental Burst Light. Give it all we've got. And then Shining Breakdown. Starlight Elena is going to just triple Gemini Blade. Regular Elena is going to go down to the base form. And she's going to Sword Imperil, Refraction, and Blade of Salvation. They're just all going to chain together and, whatever. Do a little bit of damage. Doesn't really matter that much. Galoof can do whatever he wants. We are going to just guard. He's just going to guard. Attacks, magic, we don't care. Holy hits him. It's fine. No one takes any damage. Very cool. And we're ready to burst. So just to help us with doing a little bit of damage, Fina is going to Arrow of Prayer. There we go. And my Fina happens to be EX2, so she can even SLB next turn. But we don't need to. We're going to triple Gemini Blade here. We're going to triple Blade of Salvation here. And we're going to cap an LB. And this is going to be his, fully stacked up. So we're just going to send our Chainers, then send Knights of Grandshelt. Chainers, Knights of Grandshelt. Cool. Galoof, if you're feeling frisky, you could do like Sworn Protection. You could do like Stronghold Advance. You could do Belwar Tactics to fill LB gauge. Whatever you're feeling. It's whatever. Pretty cool. Now, on this turn, Galoof is going to Bonds of Fortitude on Knights of Grandshelt, fill his LB gauge, so he's ready to go again. But he doesn't have a 150% amp anymore, so Fina's going to use her SLB here to at least give him the 45%. And between that and the Bahamut field, he's going to be at like, I think it's like 75, which is pretty good. Right, and we're just going to reload. And do it again. So Chainers and Knights of Grandshelt. Awesome. I'll show you the damage breakdown. We took no damage, so risk of death is minimal. Pretty straightforward with this team. And damage breakdown. So Starlight Elena actually does do quite a bit of damage. She does 6.3. Regular Elena is just support chaining and doing the elemental resistances, and then Knights of Grandshelt does the big bursts of damage. He does his LB 3 times. 2 of those are on a chain cap, so kind of cool. Fina even doing a little bit of damage with her counters, and so does Galoof. But yeah, there you go. So hopefully that's achievable for you. I know the Knights of Grandshelt, being a premium EX3 unit in this team who has the 150% amp does kind of, reek of whaleness, I guess. But, if yours is not EX3, that's okay. Just use whatever gear you got on him. You could honestly put all your better gear into him anyway. Like, I kind of spread mine out to make Starlight a little stronger. You could put all your good gear into him and then use Galoof just on turn 5 to re-give him his LB using his Bonds of Fortitude again. Or Bonds of Friendship. It's pretty cool. Galoof's a great option for this particular clear. So is regular Elena with her 100% resistance to all elements. But yeah, I hope that is useful to you. If you've got questions about what you can maybe swap out or change, let me know. If you've got ideas of where we could improve that, let me know. I'm always up for suggestions. But hopefully that's useful to you, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care.